Hey guys, welcome to the SimRacingPaddock. I'm William Marsh, and this is the Aiologs Sequential Shifter. This is quickly becoming my favorite dedicated sequential shifter for under $200, and you want to find out why? Let's take a look. So you guys asked me to review the Aiologs Shifter after I completed my review on the Usingfeld Engineering Sim Shifter Sequential. This is in a similar price bracket, retailing for $165 plus $45 shipped from Russia. So that brings a total to $205, which is very similar to the Usingfeld Engineering Shifter. It's very similar to the Thrustmaster TSS and the Fanatec Club Sport Shifter. So this is quite a stacked category. So what makes this stand out from the rest? And to be honest, there isn't really anything visually striking that makes this unit stand out amongst the rest. It's fairly function over form. It has a very industrial design. It really isn't an eye turner, but that's one of the great things. This I kind of see more as a sleeper unit. This has the industrial design, which some people might like, some people might not, but I tend to enjoy it. And I like the Aiologs project's logo on it. It is pretty stylish. It looks pretty good. And I'd say the thing that really is the most visually striking is the acrylic top. So if you look, you can see actually into the unit and you can see all the internals working. You can see the LED light, which with the newest model, they actually made it an RGB unit. So that actually is pretty nifty if you like RGB, or you could just turn it off. What really sets the Aiologs Shifter apart from other units though is the function. This functionally is one of my favorite dedicated sequential shifters. And in that price bracket I mentioned, there's also the hybrid units. So the Thrustmaster TSS is a handbrake and shifter. The Club Sport Shifter is a sequential shifter and an H-pattern shifter. Also, for less money, is the Thrustmaster TH8 series shifter, which is an H-pattern and sequential as well. But when you get into those hybrid units, it's more of a jack of all trades, master of none. You get two things that work okay, but nothing that really works great. That's why I am a heavy proponent for the dedicated unit. With this dedicated shifter, you get a shift feel that the TSS, the Club Sport Shifter, and the TH8 shifters simply cannot match. This shift is great. Now, let's compare it to the Usingfeld Engineering Shifter. So, the Usingfeld Engineering Sim Shifter Sequential is a technical marvel. It really is a remarkable unit that they could fit that much technology and that shifter and that feel into such a small unit. But the shifting feel is a little compromised because of that in the Usingfeld Shifter. The shift is a little deadened. You don't get a satisfying click. You don't get that satisfying feel while driving with the shifter. With this, on the other hand, just take a listen. Now that's more like it. This has a very satisfying click when you shift. And the thing is though, some people might not want that. Some people might prefer the quieter shifter. And for that, I think I would recommend the Usingfeld Shifter. But if you want that satisfying clunk of a shift, I'd say this is like the best option you could really go for. This is a great unit and it is pretty well designed to work with a myriad of different cockpits. So on the bottom, there are the two different mounting holes that will just be able to mount to cockpits if you drill holes. I don't believe that most cockpits have these pre-drilled. But also, if you are looking for mounting to an 80-20 base cockpit, they also have the mounting plate. This has a myriad of different options that you can mount to 80-20 base cockpits or mount onto other cockpits that could support these holes. So this is actually how I have it mounted onto my SimLab GT1 Evo. Now, if you want to go a little more traditional, you also have the table clamp. The table clamp is a tried and true solution that can mount the shifter onto a cockpit, and that is great. So those are the different options that you can really use mounting the Aiologs shifter. Now, with all of those positives being said and done, there are a few negatives. So with the Heusinkveld Engineering Sim Shifter Sequential, you get 3 different knobs and 3 different rods for the shifter. With the Aiologs shifter, you just get 1. And it works pretty well. It is a nice machined aluminum shift head, and that works pretty well. But the thing is, I would have liked a little bit of variety. I would have liked maybe a longer rod, which would allow you to mount it and work it a little more like, say, a V8 supercar. That would be a car that would have a longer shifter, which would give it a bit of a lighter shift throw, as well as giving it a taller shifter design, which those cars have. So that also will go into a bit of my second gripe. This shifter has no way to adjust the shift pull. The shift pull in this is pretty nice, and it's a nice non-linear shift, which is great for these sim racing shifters. But the issue lies that I think it would have benefited with some sort of resistance toggle or something like that, similar to what is in the TH8 shifter. So if you wanted a car with a lighter shift, then you could get that. If you wanted a car with a heavier throw, you could get that as well. But that's getting a little into nitpicky. This, remember, is just a $200 shifter, and for that, it is remarkable in what this feels like and how much I'm actually enjoying it. So wrapping up this review, let's tackle the question. Do I recommend the Aiologs Sequential Shifter? Well, yes. Yes, I do. Functionally, I believe this is by far the best dedicated sequential shifter for under $200. The shifter has a satisfying feel. It has a very satisfying click and clunk when it shifts. And I just feel that this is a shifter you can instill a lot of confidence in your driving. That is a great thing. So, with that being said, it's not perfect. There are a couple gripes I have with it, but those are very minimal at best. This thing is an excellent shifter, and I would recommend it to anyone looking for a sequential shifter. So, those are my thoughts on the Aiologs Sequential Shifter. I would love to hear yours in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe so you can help keep us on track. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a good one.